And welcome back, everyone, to the Extra Attacker Podcast, episode number 14. We got past the unlucky number, and now we're here. We're back right before there's going to be a big hockey break in the Four Nations face-off. So this might be our last one for a couple weeks. We'll see. We got to debate it amongst ourselves, amongst the team. But yeah, we'll have fun with today because there's a lot to talk about today. Jeff, how are you doing though?
I'm all right. I actually got a good night's sleep last night.
Excellent.
As evidenced by the fact that it's 10:30 right now and not 10 o'clock.
Yeah. hey, sometimes we just sleep through our alarms. It's fine. And it's Saturday. You're allowed. You're allowed.
Yeah. How are you? How's your
week? I'm fine. I'm fine. It's fine. I've been house sitting for my parents while they're on a cruise and getting to live with a cat again, which we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. I have seen some photos of your parents being on vacation, but didn't put two and two together. That's why you were house sitting.
Yes, and it's been lots of back and forth. I've felt like I'm all over the place since I work from home normally. This amount of traveling every day is not normal, normal in my regular routine. So I felt rather scrambly.
Okay. You're back at your home right now, though.
Yes, that is where my streaming setup is, and I don't want to have to try and move. I'm not streaming from my laptop. It is 7 years old and can hold a charge for 2 hours while on battery saver.
Oh, that's pretty good.
No, it's really not.
You are not wrong.
It is not. Okay, well, you know who is good, Jeff.
There you go. I was gonna take that, but I said no. We'll save it. I can see it in his eyes. He's gonna take that segue.
Oh, I know my segue. I'm the best at segues. People tell me all the time that I would never say it. I would never say that I'm good at them, but I will say that Ovechkin is good at hockey and has had 1 goal in his last 3 games.
That's for anybody else, I'd say that's good. For him, I don't like the fact that he's cooling off. I was kind of hoping we'd be like in single digits by now. Completely selfishly.
And I respect that.
But he's making progress. I mean, hey, we'll take it. Worst case scenario, again. Worst case, he slows down the pace. He does it next year, but he's going to do it.
Well, in the game, he had 1 goal. He also had 2 assists, so he's playing unselfishly.
Oh, yeah.
And I...
Which would you like to see?
Well, you do... normally, but we don't when we want him to be scoring goals.
I mean, that's fair.
So I have mixed feelings about it.
I don't, and the reason why is Utah has not had a single hat trick yet in franchise history. We've had like 8 2-goal games from players. And every time we get to that 2, everybody in the ice is like, let's quit playing the hockey that we know how to play. Let's just force the puck to that guy and try to get him that hat trick. And we give up so many opportunities and so many blown leads because we're playing stupid hockey. So the fact that Ovi is like, yeah, I know I'm chasing a goal, but let's play real hockey here. I like that unselfishness. I do like seeing that. And
I would agree that I like the unselfish play. But at the same time, I want, in my selfish interests...
Yep.
I want them to be selfish. Like it's less. It's not about them anymore. It's about me and what I want.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
fair.
Like
I want this to happen. I want that's fair. And even for Utah, I want a Utah player to get a hat trick.
Oh, trust me.
Which actually wouldn't be so selfish because then you get the monkey off your back, and then you're not. Then you can go and play the way you're talking that you want your team to play.
It's true.
Speaking of Utah, we have some update on the names. It was going to be Yetis. It was going to be the Utah Yetis.
I'm so glad.
But you got copyright struck, nerds. Suck it.
Praise Yeti cooler. I might go buy an overpriced just as a thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, for those who don't know of the Yeti coolers and mugs
Yes.
and all that, they have copyrighted the name, the word Yeti.
Yep. And apparently, this is something I learned, which makes sense, but putting the name Utah in front of Yeti does not differentiate it enough from the Yeti brand. Because a geographic location that the product is sold in is not distinctive. Cool. So Yeti's
Sure.
out. Unfortunately, that also meant Blizzard was out. And even before any
Oh,
names
because
were
of Dairy
suggested-
Queen.
Because of Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I learned. Shout out to my roommate Chase. He is a guy who is getting into hockey. He has never been a fan of sports ball. Knows nothing about sports. But I have turned him into a rabid fan.
Excellent.
And he looked this up the other day and told me about it. Seattle Kraken. They had the same issue with their name.
Really?
Did you know that?
No.
Kraken Rum is a product in a company that exists.
I think I did know of the rum. Yes. Yes.
And the trademark office said, nope, can't use Kraken. So what did Seattle do?
They
went to
bought
Kraken Rum.
They bought
And
Kraken rum.
Oh, even better. They went to Kraken Rum and they said, hey guys, we want to use the name Kraken. It has nothing to do with your product. It's just the same word. In return for you giving us rights to use that name in this context, we'll make you one of the team's primary sponsors. Kraken Rum is now getting primary sponsorship for free.
That seems like a no-brainer to me. What a Well, we
No.
really need to think about it.
Why Ryan Smith was not willing to go to Dairy Queen and say, hey guys, we want to use the name Blizzard. We'll make you a primary sponsor and we'll put a Dairy Queen or two in the stadium and serve your ice cream. How easy would that have been?
I would imagine it feels like it would be pretty easy, but
Yeah. I don't know why that didn't happen. But back on topic. I buried the lead here. Wednesday morning, the team came out and said, hey, we've narrowed it down to 3 finalists. Anybody who goes to the next couple games, you can vote in person for either Utah Hockey Club, Utah Mammoth, or Utah Wasatch. I don't know what's a Wasatch.
what is a Wasatch, Jeff? I feel like it's a satchel made of watches. That's kind of what it sounds like to me when you say the word, and I'm trying to think of it in a kid-friendly context.
Maybe.
What's that?
I said maybe a satchel that hangs off the side of your watch.
Ooh, there we go. A satchel for your watches, like that guy in the cartoon Hercules that has got like, hey, you want to buy a sundial, but for watches.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. And everybody hated that name.
Well, because no one knows what a Wasatch is.
Yeah. It's
Sounds
just
just
a
like-
Wasatch front.
Yeah, it sounds like
Wasatch is
Sasquatch. You're
the
just still
area-
trying to do the Yeti.
Pretty much, and that is completely my opinion on why that even made it. Because in my mind, Yeti was so far out in front, the team banked on that working. They've already got some mock-ups drawn. If they can name the team after the area of land around the mountain range here in Utah, that would make sense to have a Yeti or a Sasquatch as a logo.
That
Yes.
that makes a lot of sense because I'm going. There's no team in the league that's named after a geographical area. Maybe you could argue the Minnesota Wild, or
Ish.
like I'm scanning through names, but none of them feel like that.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think.
Like I guess
the
there is a minor
closest
talk. I
team-
think Colorado has like a minor league team or something called the Rockies. So maybe.
Oh, I know the baseball team is Colorado Rockies.
Oh yeah, sorry, the baseball team. There we go. I knew there was a team called the Rockies.
I mean, they're so bad they may as well be a minor league team for a completely different sport. But
Exactly.
But anyway, so people got to vote in person on Wednesday. The lines were outrageously long. I was there Wednesday. I did not vote. There was so much backlash. First thing Thursday morning, the team comes out with an announcement. Hey guys, we heard you. We're taking Wasatch out. We're putting Outlaws in. Not only was there enough backlash against Wasatch, Outlaws had enough support that at the time of announcement, that was winning with 58% of the vote.
Nice.
That is a substantial lead.
I've been saying since I think November that I want the name to be Outlaws.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Everyone I've said that to around here has been like, well, Outlaws? What? No, like I like Yeti, or like Outlaws doesn't make any sense. Why Utah Outlaws? Like what? And I'm like, no. Listen, like Utah.
We have forgotten to try other services. And you are for no, there you go. You're back. It makes more sense than Yeti. Because we do not live in the Swiss Alps, where the fabled Yeti lives. We live in Utah, where we had many, many historical American outlaws take refuge and or hunt for people. I wonder, actually, now that we're talking about this, list of famous outlaws in Utah. I wonder if you can, like, find KSL News. 5 of Utah's most infamous Old West outlaws. Butch Cassidy. Sundance Kid. Matt Warner. Never heard of him.
I've heard of none of these guys. I have heard of Porter Rockwell.
You've never heard of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid? You've never seen the movie Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid?
Oh wait, yeah, no, I've never heard of them, but I have seen the movie.
yeah. Outlaw Kid Curry, never heard of him. Sundance Film Festival is actually named after him.
I have been to Sundance.
Yep, there you go. So, there's just a few of them. Yeah, tons of outlaws came out this way. So that it makes more sense than Yeti. So I don't understand people saying, "Oh, it doesn't make sense." I've always liked Outlaws. It's never been my favorite. Blizzard has always been my favorite. Like I was saying earlier, even before any names were announced, before voting took place, before anything, as soon as I heard we're getting a team, I wanted Blizzard. Because A, it's very snow related. We are known for having the best snow on Earth up in the Park City area.
Okay.
I didn't say it's true or we agree with it. I just said that's kind of what Utah is known for, is having the best ski and snowboard snow.
And what you might, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just know there was a lot of it on my car this morning.
Fair. Blizzard's got a little bit of that toughness edge to it without being overly violent. But most importantly, it keeps the Double Z name. Why does Double Z have significance, Jeff, you might ask? Who's our basketball team here in Utah? It's the Utah Jazz.
The Jazz.
If we named ourselves the Blizzard, we'd have 2 teams, and we could keep that Double Z theming. There's a lot of cool marketing stuff you could do around that.
Could get ZZ Top to be your official musician.
That'd be sick. Oh, that'd actually be awesome. But we're also, Brian Smith is trying to get a baseball team. We've already got the stadium renderings, and he's been in talks with Rob Manfred. There's no reason we couldn't get a Double Z name there. Especially with being known as the Deseret State. Having a lot of symbolism and history around the honeybee and honeybee hives. You could have the Buzz. There has been a Utah Buzz minor league team here before. That has been a thing. People loved it. Which also brings up, why was the whole honeybee theme never even once considered for the Utah Hockey Club? That I don't know. I mean, it would have been real easy to just nickname the stadium the Hive, and then we could piss off opposing players by buzzing at them when we score a goal. I don't know. But anyway, Utah has names if you're in the area, go vote. Show up to the stadium. Go to the game tonight. Go vote. Tonight? I think we play tomorrow. I don't think we play today. Did we play today? We played last night and got embarrassed. Yeah, we play tomorrow.
Yeah, not tonight.
Go tomorrow. Go vote. Go vote Outlaws.
Yeah, I did hear that it was over the course of 4 games that the votes would happen. So, I mean, I'm hoping for Outlaws. You know, Frontier of the Wild West. Utah was a part of that, and so plenty of Outlaws. I think there's so many cool themes you can do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
As long as they allow me to bring guns into the stadium, too, for maximum cosplay.
Yeah, oh, totally. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
It'll be a thing, I'm sure. Another thing that has been released, other than these names, has been the captains of the 4 Nations teams, and there's not really a lot of surprises there. Canada went with Crosby. U.S. went with Matthews. That seems to indicate that he will indeed be going to the 4 Nations Cup, because there was some debate over whether or not he would actually go or ask to not.
Yeah.
And then I'm pulling up, I believe Sweden's is Victor Hedman.
I think so,
yeah.
yeah.
I know it's either Sweden or Finland, and okay, well, I was trying to pull it up quickly, but the internet failed me to remember who the last one is. Oh, and as I do that, we also have, literally as of 3 minutes ago, another trade that's just happened. So we'll be adding that. We're about to go into trade talks pretty quickly here, but yeah.
Matthews, Crosby, Alexander Barkov, and Victor Hedman.
Yes, Barkov. Yeah. So those are all pretty obvious to me. I feel like Barkov was, he literally just won the cup with the Panthers as their captain. Charlie McAvoy getting an assistant captain for U.S.
Yep. He sure did.
So that's pretty great for you. U.S. and Canada going with only 2 alternate captains. Sweden and Finland going with 3. I don't know how much of a big deal that makes, as I don't fully understand the purpose. I know that people with the C or the A are allowed to talk to the refs in stoppage times when things are being discussed. They get to be that representative for the team.
Yeah.
You're allowed to have 3, but most teams in the NHL only have 2.
My guess is it's for 4 nations. It's all symbolic.
Yeah.
But yeah, for USA, it's Matthews, Tkachuk, McAvoy. Canada, you've got Crosby, McDavid, Makar. Finland is Barkov, Aho, Granlund, and Rantanen. And Sweden is Hedman, Ekholm, Erik Karlsson, and Willie Nylander. So
there you go.
Should be fun. Should be fun.
Yeah,
when does that happen, by the way?
It's going to be here in the next week or 2.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Because we slow down with NHL games. We have games kind of continue here till next Sunday, and then after the 9th, Sunday the 9th, there are there's no games, NHL games, for the next couple of weeks. The first 4 Nations game is on February 12th between Canada and Sweden. That will be the first one. Then we have
2 weeks. Week and a half, 2 weeks, yeah.
Yep.
What is it? Just the 12th and the 14th, right? Just 3 days?
No, it actually takes place over like a couple weeks.
Oh, really?
Yes. Because the first game's on the 12th, then you got one on the 12th, one on the 13th, then 2 on the Saturday the 15th, 2 on the 17th, the Monday, and that concludes the round robin. And then we have the finals on the February 20th, And then we resume NHL action on Saturday, the 22nd.
Okay. Geez, so a whole week and a half.
Yeah.
I'm torn. I mean, on one hand, it's going to be really fun. On the other hand, it's going to suck that at best you've only got like 2 games, 3 games on a day, and then you'll wait a few days to watch hockey again.
Well, they do space it out because they have a game the Wednesday, a game the Thursday, 2 on the Saturday, 2 on the Monday, and then 1 on the Thursday.
What,
so
7 games over an entire week. Like, I want
Yes.
7 games a night. Give me hockey. Like, that's
I
the
know,
part
but
that's
this would normally be the All-Star break, and so they're kind of just extending the time a bit by a week, which because normally the All-Star break's about a week in length.
yeah.
So you're actually getting more hockey than you would during that time. It's just, slightly longer break. And this is a really good time because this helps a lot of teams with healing up some injuries, just resting some players before making that big playoff push. And, this gives management some time to really decide what they want to go for at for the trade deadline, which will be shortly after the Four Nations. So this is just kind of a nice reset, nice mid-season break before we just really heat up in preparation for the playoffs.
Yeah. Have you looked at the jerseys yet, by the way?
I have seen some of the jerseys, yeah.
They're pretty nice. I like some of I mean, a lot of the details that they go into, it's like really small and insignificant, but I've always been a fan of just kind of, this is why we put that really tiny detail you'll never notice in there. For example, if you look at the U.S. jersey, you'll never notice it. Inside the white stripe on the sleeves, they have the text E pluribus unum, which is the motto of the United States, out of many one. You're never going to notice that on the inside of the stripe. Here.
Yeah, where is it?
Look at that second link. Don't talk about the first link.
Okay. That's really weird that you sent me 2 links, but okay.
Yeah. I'll explain the first link later on. We have scroll down a little bit more. There's the U.S.
Yeah,
That's on the inside of that white stripe on the sleeve.
Nice.
It's stuff like that. Like, you're never going to notice that. But I really like that they took that kind of time and put that in. I like all 4 jerseys, straight up.
Oh, yeah, they're very nice. It's sad that there's some ads on there because, of course, Fanatics can't make a jersey without getting ads on it, but
right.
The jerseys themselves look good. I will not buy a jersey with ads. Won't do it.
Get Game Ripper.
No. I'm not giving my money to these punks.
Fair enough. But yes, Four Nations. We'll we'll have to chat and figure out what we want to do for that. I don't want to do nothing, so everybody keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Yeah, we'll see. That's coming up. We still have this coming week as normal, but then the week after that it'll be a little weird. So that's Four Nations for you. Captains are out. Get ready, everybody. Pick your allegiances. It'll be fun for you and I to hate each other for a couple of minutes when U.S. and Canada make the final.
It's bold of you to assume that'll happen.
It is. But tell me I'm wrong.
Okay, you're wrong.
Bruins. They're pretty bad. They're pretty bad. They lost to Buffalo.
Someone had to do it.
Not only did they lose to Buffalo, they gave up 7 goals to Buffalo.
That happens.
Not only did they give up 7 goals to Buffalo, they gave up a hat trick to Paterka.
What's a Paterka?
Not only did they give up a hat trick to Paterka, They also gave up a hat trick to Thompson.
I mean, that's more respectable. Thompson's a freaking amazing goal scorer. I would love to have Thompson on my team.
What's his first name?
Logan Thompson? No, that's
That's a
Tage
goalie,
Thompson.
bro.
Sorry, Tage Thompson.
There you
I
go.
mixed up my Thompson. Yeah.
JJ Paterka and Tage Thompson in the same game. I'm sure this is not the first time it's ever happened. I can guarantee that. It's the first time that I remember it happening, which is why it was kind of noteworthy for me. It's not something that happens often.
No.
It's kind of a cool thing. But I'm also a little bit of a masochist and enjoy pain. So I just thought it would be fun to bring that point up. That's literally it. That's all we had on that. Unless you have something. I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Laugh at my pain, everybody. It's great.
I'm not gonna laugh because hey, goal score your goal scorer scored. That's all I can say. As long as it wasn't Swayman. If it was on Corpusalo, then it makes sense.
It was on Swayman.
Oh well, then.
Swayman has been kind of a dumpster fire this year.
Yeah, goalies have bad years.
Yeah, with that being said, it's a bad year on top of our defense was gutted and our defense is crap. But yeah, all the fans want him gone by the trade deadline, and some of the article writers are already picking destinations for him. So we'll see what happens.
It's not happening.
It's not happening.
No.
But if it did, I would be less than upset if Utah went out and got a goalie at the deadline. Just going to put that out there. Speaking into existence.
You do that. Anywho, I'm going to move us on to more interesting topics than your trade deadline delusions of something that has been confirmed by, this is per Frank Saravalli. We now know the salary cap confirmed. This is the confirmed salary cap increases for not one, not two, but the next 3 years. So to give a context before we get into this, normally the league announces what the salary cap will be for the next year right before the draft. So when the playoffs end and we're about to get to the draft, the league will announce for the coming season what the salary cap for that year will be. That's the most amount of warning teams have usually ever gotten. This has been the norm. This is like teams have only been able to speculate, never been able to concretely plan how much the cap will be and how to plan salaries around it. Yeah. So signing players has always been a little bit of a crapshoot, but we now have, the league has released confirmed salary caps for the next 3 years. Right now, as of this year, the salary cap has a maximum of $88 million with a floor of $65. For next season, it goes up to $95.5 million, an increase of $7.5 million, with the floor being $70.6 million. The following year goes up another $8.5 million to $104 million, with a floor of $76.9. And the year after that, so the 2027-28 season, it goes up an additional $9.5 million to a cap of $113.5 million, with a floor being $83.9 million. $4 million. In 3 years, teams will be having to spend a minimum of almost what the cap is this year.
Yeah. That's a $25.5 million swing in 3 years. It would be easy to say. And when I first saw this, I was like, hold on, we were promised $9 million. It's only $7.5 million. It'd be really easy to just stop there and get angry about it. But $25.5 million swing in 3 years. Who's making $25.5 million this year?
Not me.
Nobody. Any team that is up against the go add whatever player in the league they want without fear of how much it's going to cost. But they could add any 2 players they wanted without fear of what it's going to cost. Because if I remember correctly, the highest numbers that I've been hearing are between the $12 and $14 million mark. I have not fact checked that. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure
Well,
those are kind of the highest paid players in the league right now, or around that $12 to $14 mark.
well, Leon Draisaitl just signed the largest deal in NHL history at $14 million a year for 8 years.
There it is. So you couldn't quite get 2 Leon Draisaitl's, but you could almost get 2 Leon Draisaitl's.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's the thing is with this now, both players and teams can plan for this. So players in their contract negotiations, we can expect contracts to shoot up now because they know because the way players look at it, I've heard, is they'll look at it in terms of a percentage of the team's cap. That's how they kind of get to their numbers. So say McDavid, now when we go to the Oilers go to re-sign him at the end of this year. And I actually, here, I have a list. I saved a list of upcoming in the next 2 years pending free agents. Teams that are going to be. So you have the list. Connor McDavid in 2026. Cale Makar and Quinn Hughes in 2027. Kirill Kaprizov, 2026. Mikko Rantanen, 2025. Jack Eichel, 2026. Mitch Marner, 2025. Kucherov, 2027. And then you've got Bedard and Celebrini that will be able to do this. But now that teams and players know, they can negotiate based off of these numbers.
Yep. And every one of those that you just named deserve big contracts.
Mm-hmm. But with it going up like this, that means these players, say Rantanen, he can now go wherever he wants because everyone will be able to afford him. So will he stay in Carolina? I don't know. This news really, any negotiation talk that had already happened now has to shift because players are like, well, wait, is that what I wanted or this?
Yeah.
But teams that were in cap trouble and wondering how are we going to afford some of these players, now it's starting to look like, well, maybe as long as players don't drastically increase what they're asking.
Yeah. That's the fear that I have. And the note that you put in right at the beginning where players, they're not really looking for a number, they're more looking for a percentage. If that stays true, I think it'll be okay. But if all these players are saying, I was asking for 10 million, but your cap just shot up, so now I want 15. I think that's going to be a problem. Because, there's going to be more money thrown around, but that money's just going to go to the same players you were going to pay anyway. And so teams are really not going to look any different. They're not going to be able to go afford more talent because they're just paying $5 million, $6 million, $7 million more to the same players that they were already going to get. And so I'm hoping that they can find some way that the players and the teams can kind of come together with that mutual understanding that, maybe I do deserve an extra million or two now that you have more money, but I'm not going to take that extra 5, 6, 7 million because I want you to take that other money and go get somebody you normally wouldn't have been able to get, and let's get more talent.
Well, that's what you always hope for,
being more well-rounded rather than McDavid shooting up to a $25 million contract.
Yeah, and we'll see.
Yeah, that's my hope. I'm also really interested to see, too, how many contracts are going to be scaled contracts. For example, hey, I know you're asking for 10 million. We can give you 10 million 3 years from now. How about we give you 8 this year? And then when the cap goes up next year, we'll boost it to 9 for next year. And then once the cap goes up again, we'll give you 10 the next year. How many contracts are going to start getting structured like that, I wonder?
I mean, I don't think many because you could still have done that now. Players don't take a lot of these big players don't take these 1-2 year deals because teams want to lock them up for a while. And that's not, I don't think that's going to be a thing. What was debated about what was going to be a thing was deferred payments that thus have some money not applied to the cap. Like what Carolina did with, I believe it was Sebastian Aho this season, or one of their players, where
let me clarify too, because I'm not saying sign you to a 1 year deal and then sign you to another 1 year deal. I'm saying, I'll give you your 8 year contract. But I'm going to pay you $7 million this year.
Oh
Next
no,
year, we're
no.
going to bump you up to 8 year.
No, that's not how it works. So your salary cap hit is based off of the total value of your contract across the entire time divided by the number of years. And so that's why you see a lot of players, they'll get paid in signing bonus, like say Draisaitl's contract, he actually only gets paid in salary $1 million a year because the vast majority of his money was given to him as a signing bonus. The reason for that is
that I didn't know.
It's to help deal with both inflation and it's lockout proof and buyout proof. Where
so he gets what was it, $14 million a year?
Mm-hmm.
Is the number we came up with? But he's actually only getting $1 million a year because he already got $13 million a year paid to him in a lump sum.
Yeah.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah. So it's because you'll see that a lot of players do have based off of just whatever the team finances are, whatever. You'll see, oh, this year they're getting paid this much, and next year they're getting paid that much when you actually go and break down the details. But so often a player is never actually making their yearly average according to the cap hit. It's broken up into different kinds of bonuses and different things just on the financial side to make however the payment needs to work best so that you maximize players' profit and the team's finances depending on how they are able to pay out players.
So if he's only a $1 million against the cap.
No, he's not. He's still 14.
So what's the point of giving him the lump sum then?
Oh, like I said, the lockout. Say that lockout proofs his contract because in a lockout, players don't get paid because they're not playing. Players only get paid if they get paid. So in their money. So this is the way that I've had it explained to me. So in the part of your contract where the money paid to you is salary, you get paid throughout the season as you play games. Yeah. So when you play a game, you get paid whatever portion of your contract divided amongst all those 82 games. There. Yeah. So in a lockout, you don't get paid that. But if you were to get most of your money up front as a signing bonus, you just get the money there. And lockout happens, you're not worried about not getting paid. You've already gotten your money.
Yeah. No, that all makes sense. Yeah. I thought you were saying that the cap hit is only based on how much is being paid that year. So that's why he was taking as a signing bonus. That's what I thought you said originally. That's why there was a confusion. But no, that makes sense.
Okay. I see. Yeah.
I was going to say, because if that's the case, I don't know why every team's not paying every player $1 million a year with gigantic signing bonuses and just being done with it. And then you could afford whoever you want.
Right? Yeah. Well, and that's why...
Loophole.
Well, and that's why it's interesting about the payment deferral loophole that teams have figured out. Because if you can... Because it's only... That. Well, maybe that was inspired by the Dodgers. I'm not sure. But the MLB has a very different payment punishment system than the NHL because there's no luxury tax system in the NHL.
Yeah, but I mean the principle still applies. If they can, the Dodgers went and everybody's on deferred payments, and so they can afford to get whoever the heck they want, and they don't care because they're I'm not paying them this year. I think Shohei is only making like $1 million a year of his $1 billion contract because it's all just deferred till after he retires anyway.
Well, and that's the interesting thing is the players' comfort level with it because in the NHL, it doesn't seem right now like a lot of players are interested in deferring payment to make their cap hit lower just due to the changing of currency value and whatnot. But we'll see. There might be a bit of a change.
Yeah.
But this news is really going to throw out contracts out the window. And I mean, sucks for Logan Thompson that he signed his deal. Literally a few days before this news came out, he's got a 6-year deal at $5.85 million a year. But now it's like, oh man, could he have gotten more if he'd wanted to? Or what about all the goalies that signed at the beginning of this year?
On one hand, I feel bad for him, but the bigger side, I really don't. Because if he wants to cry about making $5.85 million every season to play hockey, he really needs to get his priorities straight. That, I didn't get 6.5. Shut up. You're making almost $6 million to play hockey. I don't want to hear it. So I really don't feel bad for him. Is that a very overly simplified take? Yeah, probably. But you know what? I stick by it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, we have had a very unique contract situation happen in the last week
Very
as
sad
well.
contract situation.
Well, not necessarily. Very, very funny.
Continue.
Brandon Saad. So you know how teams can buy out players' contracts, right? If they're not happy with the player and they don't want to have his contract on their roster anymore, and they can't trade him or anything. So teams can buy out players' contracts. Did you know that players can terminate their own contracts?
What? How does that work?
They forfeit the money they would have made on it. So they say, "Yep, I don't want to play with you so much that I'm willing to whatever amount of money was on my contract. Now, you can keep it. I quit. I terminate my contract." And that's what Brandon Saad, formerly of the St. Louis Blues, did, giving up, I think, around like $5 to $6 million that was left to be paid to him, so that he could go to free agency, and ended up signing with the Vegas Golden Knights for a prorated contract worth $1.5 million for just this season.
Yeah. The part that blew me away was a prorated just for the second half of this season was still $1.5 million. Hockey.
Well, that's the cap. He's not getting paid $1.5 million. That's based off of what he's going to be paid. If it was a full season contract, it would be worth $1.5 million. And so that's the cap hit. So he's getting paid less than that.
He's only getting paid half of that. Or just under half, because we're just past half. Well, that sucks. That's even worse than I thought then. Because 1.5 is not a lot of money.
I mean, he's made over $50 million in his career already.
Sure.
To use your point of, oh no, he's
Sure.
woe is him. He's going there because he thinks Vegas can win a cup, and he wants to win another cup.
Yeah. And good for him. Just makes me wonder, though, and I have not paid any attention to him, how well he's played this year. But if St. Louis didn't want him, and he's not good enough to play there, what does Vegas see in him?
Well, he was just having a very off year in St. Louis.
Yeah. And that's kind of the point that I'm making. What does Vegas know, or think they know, that St. Louis and the rest of the league didn't?
Well, what do you mean the rest of the league?
Nobody else gave him the contract.
Oh, there were multiple teams trying to.
Were there?
Yes.
Because I didn't hear about that point. All I heard was he signed. I didn't hear anybody else was reaching out.
Oh yeah, no, there were a number of teams. I believe Tampa, Dallas, Edmonton, and Toronto were also all very interested in him.
None of which would have been bad options for him.
No, it was all just cup contending teams.
Yeah,
deep playoff teams that wanted him because great depth, power forward that they could get for cheap. That's the thing. Like, you don't have to give up any asset. You can get him for cheap. Power forward, depth player.
I feel like I don't know anything.
With cup experience.
Much today.
Well, I know because he's been one of the only things the Edmonton media around here could talk about.
That's fair. Yeah, Utah isn't interested. They haven't mentioned him, so I haven't heard it.
He's not a fit for you, plus he would never want to go to you.
No, all I hear out of Boston land is everybody's pissed, and we need to trade everybody and fire everybody, and the whole team just needs to be shut down. So that's all I hear out of Boston media.
Well, they need to get in with the times, because there's a lot of trades that have been going on right now. And we can quickly punch out some of the boring ones out of the way. We have the New York Rangers trading Ryder Korzak to the Tampa Bay Lightning for Lucas Edmonds. Just prospect type things. Same with the Islanders trading for Scott Perunovich for a conditional 5th round pick. Conditions unknown. But now we start to get into some of the biggins. Firstly, JT Miller. Bye-bye.
The drama may be finally coming to a close for Vancouver fans.
And New York, for that matter.
There will never be an end to the drama in New York. Let's be fair.
True. Okay. JT Miller finally getting
Returns home.
out of the Canucks land, going back to the Rangers, along with Jackson Dorrington, who the rights to Dorrington, just a prospect, and Eric Brandstrom, a depth defenseman.
Now, remind me, I'm like 99% sure Brandstrom. It's only been like a month since Colorado traded him up to Vancouver. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it on the podcast.
His profile picture still has him in a jersey of the Avalanche.
Yeah. Let's see. Brandstrom. See if I can find it here.
I don't know why you're focusing in on him right now.
What's curious?
Anyway, I mean, sure. I just of all the people right now that we're focusing in on, Eric Brandstrom is who you're investigating.
Hey.
We haven't even talked about who Vancouver got.
I had a squirrel moment. I had a thought and I had to follow that thought. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. I'm just giving you a hard time.
I know.
It's fine. You can do what you want. You tell me. I'm going to look up Eric Brandstrom if I want to. Yeah.
I'm locked in.
I'm not.
Philip Heidel.
Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know how it is. Is it Cheadle? Keidel?
Heidel.
Heidel? Heidel?
The only reason I know that is because he made highlights for something he did this week. I think he had a really nasty hit on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think he was the one that went and hit Bedard at like way after the play.
Oh.
Or tripped somebody. I think he was the one who did that.
Bold move.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the guy seems like second, third line, middle six center.
Yep.
So that's why it's not a 1-to-1, because then you got prospect Victor Mancini, and a conditional first round pick.
Yep. It was, I mean, if you look just at the pieces involved, obviously Vancouver lost this huge. This was a fleecing by the Rangers. However, with everything else that we know is going on, the number one priority was get the drama taken care of, get Miller out. And so, in that regard, Vancouver wins this trade. They could have taken a bag of pucks and been happy with it, just to be done with it and gone.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and
Miller's gone. They get a lot of cap space. They're happy with it.
And that's kind of the thing that I've wondered, because it doesn't feel like there was enough value from immediate value from New York. Like this was not like, oh, here's Mika Zibanejad 1-for-1. Here we go.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't seem like Vancouver got the same amount of immediate value. Which, like, are you working towards a rebuild or what? Or is the value of getting things calmed down in the locker room going to end up also being the value? But then, they went and used that first round pick to acquire something that makes a little more sense.
Yep.
From the Pittsburgh Penguins. So they used that pick, as well as Danton Heinen and Vincent Desharnais, and the rights to Melvin Fernstrom to get Drew O'Connor and Marcus Patterson.
Yep.
Now this is a really nice pickup if they can re-sign him, because Patterson's a very nice defenseman.
That's the key. I wouldn't want to have to deal with Patterson and Hughes as an offensive player going against them. Just going to put that out there.
Yeah, no. Well, now you've got Hronek, Patterson, and Hughes, all great. And now, what?
For now.
For now, yeah.
Yeah, Hughes might be on his way out. That remains to be seen.
Well, that's the rumor, but again, you can't trust a lot of things out of the Vancouver media, because they're such extremists and doomsdayers.
Here's the thing with that. Yeah, I mean, I would normally agree, but that was a direct quote from the owner of the team. When he came out this week and said, he confirmed all the drama and said both
Fair.
Pedersen and Jason Miller are on their way out, and Quinn Hughes may be gone as well. We just need to see what kind of returns we can get and what's going on.
Fair enough. That you're right.
So,
I thought that was just speculation, but no, you're right. That was from him. So you're like, okay, that's a big deal.
we'll see. With that being said, though, now that Miller's gone, Miller and Pedersen was the issue. They may be able to just move on now, and everything's hunky dory. We don't know. So we'll see.
And now Vancouver has completed the Pedersen bingo card
Yes.
with Elias Pedersen,
Two Elias presented Marcus.
Elias Pedersen, and Marcus Pedersen. Yep. You can have Pedersen to Pedersen from Pedersen back to Pedersen. Shot by Pedersen, rebound picked up by Pedersen, scored by Pedersen with the assists Pedersen and Pedersen.
I want at least once. I want to see that graph. Pedersen gets the goal with the assists by Pedersen and Pedersen.
It's got to happen. It has to. All right. Our next blockbuster trade that isn't as big as Rantanen, to be fair, but Calgary, everyone thought they were going to be in rebuild mode. Everyone thought that they weren't a playoff team, but they're making moves to get into the playoffs. They're right on the cusp. They're right there on the edge. They're battling for the wild card spot. And they go and they trade Andrei Kuzmenko and Jacob Pelletier and 2 picks for Joel Farabee and Morgan Frost.
Yep. They're gearing up.
Big moves.
I feel like Kuzmenko is one of those players that the stat sheet doesn't really support him. But I think he's got a lot of the intangibles. I think he does a lot of the right things. He's making good plays. He's doing good things on the ice. That is a little bit of a loss, but Farabee's a huge pickup for them.
Yeah, I think
more than make up for that.
Yeah, I think between both Frost and Farabee, Calgary won this trade to me.
Oh yeah,
they've gotten better. My favorite part of this though is how you can just imagine that conversation where it's like, you've got the second round pick. You've got the 4 players combined. And the Philly GM comes to the Calgary GM and is like, you know what, we're real close. But it's not quite enough. It's not quite enough. Calgary's like, okay, I feel like this is fair, but let me sweeten. I can sweeten the deal, and I think that this is exactly what you're looking for. What will push it over the edge so that you are content and satisfied with this proposition.
Does the Calgary GM sound like a Texas oil baron?
Now, see, we have given you our 2025 second round pick. That is this coming draft, good sir. Now, I'm pretty set on most of my other draft picks, but I am willing to part, though it breaks my heart to do so, with our 2028 7th round pick. Now, it is going to be hard for me to explain this to the media, the fans, and more importantly, the management here of the Calgary Flames establishment. But I believe I can convince them to part with such an asset as this 3 years in the future 7th round pick. That's how I imagine the conversation went down.
I mean, you're probably not far off. I mean, a 2028 any round pick, that's like so far in the future, nobody cares. But a 7th round? Again, can we trade the 7th round pick in 2028 for a bag of pucks?
Like are we allowed to
stock the break room for a week and we'll give you this draft pick?
Couldn't we just give them future considerations instead?
Right? I don't. It's hilarious to me.
It's great. But yeah, Calgary making that push. They're getting the pieces they think they need to be the team that can get bounced by Edmonton in the first round of the playoffs. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Yeah. And then
I do have to just a side note on that. There is 0% chance Calgary ends up beating Edmonton in the West. There's 0% chance they beat Dallas. There's a 0% chance they beat Vegas. It's not going to happen. But the fact that this tends to be a thing in hockey, if we have an opportunity to get better, we're going to do it. I like that about hockey. In baseball, you see a lot of teams, especially right now with the Dodgers being the super team that they are, all their division rivals are like, yeah, we'll do a couple things here and there to get better, but really we're punting. And we're hoping we could be really good in 3 to 4 years, and hoping by then the Dodgers have collapsed and they've lost some of their talent. I don't see that as much in hockey, and I do really like that because there could be, Calgary could go up against one of those Western teams, have a couple really good days, and that other team has a couple really bad days. Holy crap, I didn't know this was a thing.
Yes, this was the one that I said that just popped up as I was looking up that thing on
Okay.
Instagram.
Yeah, real quick. I mean, yeah, they could have a couple good days. The other team could have a couple bad. You never know what's going to happen. So, I do like seeing teams actually trying instead of just punting.
Yep. Oh, I'm all for it. We've got a huge one.
Sucks.
The rumors of Michael Granlund getting out of San Jose have come true, and the Dallas Stars are the team, as of 10 minutes ago, are the ones that wanted him.
That ain't good.
And we've got Michael Granlund and Cody Ceci. So now I know that Dallas isn't winning the Stanley Cup because Cody Ceci. I'm not a fan. We're not going to worry about that. But they got that depth. They got that nice second line center. Play nice second lines for him. And last year of his contract, and there's no contract retention, it appears, on either of these players.
I'm not seeing that.
No, so Dallas is eating the whole thing. And they gave up their first round pick this next year and Winnipeg's fourth round pick, which upgrades to a third round pick if Dallas reaches the Stanley Cup final.
So a fourth round pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is another one that if you just look on paper, I think San Jose loses. But what are they trying to do? They're starting to put together that young core. They're trying to build up the young core. Get rid of some 30-plus-year-old age guys.
Yeah, Michael Granlund's
guys out, get that first round pick. They win this trade as far as what they're trying to do.
Well, I think both teams win it because Granlund doesn't want to be on a rebuilding team. He doesn't have many years left. He wants to be on a cup contender. So Dallas is the one that worked out for that. And
yeah, and
San Jose wants assets.
Yeah, and that's where my dislike comes in. I mean, I still think Edmonton's the better team, but I don't like the West teams gearing up and getting better. I don't want to see them be able to go up against Edmonton in a couple of years when Utah's good. I don't want to have more of a hurdle for Utah. So I don't like Granlund coming over to Dallas.
See, you want the best teams over on your side because then when you win, no one can deny you're champion. No one can say, "Oh, you had to ease your path." No, you ran the gauntlet, you proved dominance, and you wrecked them. And then you just look down upon the East contender, and you're like, "You pitiful little fools, you Eastern
the East is trash.
knuckleheads."
And my favorite team's in the East, and we're trash. So there's that.
Yeah.
Refresh the page, see if another trade came in while we've been talking.
Yeah, seriously. Seriously. Let's see. Any more trades? No, sadly, no more trades.
Jeez.
There's still time. There's still time.
Hold on, what does that say? Wait, bring that back up. Per Kevin Weeks, sounds like Texas hockey will be using this space very soon. Dallas has got another move coming in for all that new cap space, I guess. That's what he's saying.
Let's see here. So Sagan and Lundqvist have been put on LTR. They're doing the Vegas and Tampa move.
They're
doing the Vegas. If they choose to start using LTIR, they can exceed the cap by $12.3 million from the current roster. They have room to add up to an $11.1 million of additional cap hit. Okay, well,
who are they gonna go get?
That's scary. No.
Who are they? What is Elias Pettersson's contract? And what is Quinn Hughes' contract?
Okay, yeah, that's
I'm just trying
let's
to
find
think.
out.
Who's available right now?
Elias Pettersson.
Right up at the top, 11-6.
That's too much. There'd have to be some retention. Well, which wouldn't work because it's a lot of years. No, they'd have to be giving up someone big. You could get a Brock Besser. You could get a Jake DeBrusk. You could.
The only reason I mentioned those two, 7.8 right there for Quinn Hughes.
He's only.
And they've got
He's only
12.
Wow, what a contract! Holy crap! For 2 more years too.
That could be it right there.
Like, are in the talk for best defenseman in the league currently, like Hughes and Makar.
That could be it right there. Obviously, we don't know anything that you guys don't know. But with ownership and GM saying Quinn Hughes is available, Dallas making all that cap space, that is a possibility.
Oh my gosh! Oh no!
Yeah, they'd have to dump a little bit of salary after the LTIR, but I'm sure they've got a couple free agents they just wouldn't re-sign to make room for Quinn Hughes once they lose that extra 12-3. Oh, that could be a problem. That could be a problem.
If Dallas could somehow pull that off.
I don't even think it's a somehow. I think it could happen. The question again is, now that Miller is gone, does Vancouver land feel like, okay, the pressure's off, the drama's gone, I think we can settle down now? I think that is the question.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find.
You seem
Time's
really
tell.
worried though. If Quinn Hughes goes there, do you think that's what they need? Is that the last piece they need to get over that hump? It's 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, they're not winning the cup.
Well, that's just because I was talking about, like, I genuinely think that they could. I do genuinely think they could, but the bias side of me is like, nah, they ain't getting past Edmonton. They totally could. They've got all the right pieces. The thing is, if a team already is good, you've already got a top 5, top 10 defenseman, Miro Heiskanen. You've got people like Wyatt Johnston, Jason Robertson, Jamie Benn, Rupe Hintz. You've got all these fantastic players. They've got so many more. You got Jake Ottinger.
Yeah.
If you were to add, at worst, the second most elite defenseman in the league to that, and you have people like Sagan come back from LTIR in the playoff, like this, like who can stop that? I'm sorry, that.
Yeah.
We were just talking about how the NHL doesn't have super teams. I'm sorry, that's essentially a super team.
It basically is at that point.
Freaking LTIR, man.
Yeah. I'm just going to put it out there now because I just had this other thought. Numbers-wise, I don't know that it works the same way. Haven't looked into it at all. This is a thought that literally just came in. If he goes to Dallas, they win the cup. I think the only other team that is 100% true of, if he goes to Winnipeg, they win the cup. Easy. Because
No, not Winnipeg. No.
I think so. I do. I do.
Winnipeg doesn't have the playoff experience. They cannot. You can always be wrong. There have been plenty of teams throughout time that have won the cup without having any kind of deep playoff run experience.
Yeah.
But their core does not have deep playoff run experience. They just don't. And I think that matters a lot in today's day and age to get there.
I think it matters, but at the same time, I also think we put too much emphasis on that. In my opinion.
I don't know, man.
All I know is I just ruined your day. Now you're going to be.
Oh, you didn't ruin my day. It's only going to be a problem when it happens.
Jersey. Yeah, Quinn Hughes in a Stars jersey is going to be haunting you in your sleep now.
Well, I mean, the big team that I've heard of where Quinn Hughes is going to go would be New Jersey, so that all the Hughes brothers can be together. That's what, if he goes anywhere, that's my first pick. That is my first pick of where it'll actually end up being.
That would be cool. And that raises the other question too. Is that enough to get? Because New Jersey, we've kind of had them like right there on that bubble for a couple of years now. Is that enough to kind of get them over the hump and make them a perennial playoff team and to make them a serious contender?
I
I
mean,
don't
that
know that it's
depends.
enough, but it
I mean, it
definitely
depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
Again, they haven't. Jack Hughes doesn't have any playoff experience. Like this.
Yeah.
They make it second round, third round at most. I think. I don't think.
They make it second.
It happens, but you never know. Again, it depends. Like say they made it to the Stanley Cup final. If Edmonton can get there again,
your stream freeze again.
No, you didn't freeze.
So disappointing.
You just.
Oh, there we are. We're back.
We're back. You never left.
Yeah, I know. It's you.
It's because I'm streaming.
I know.
I tried lowering the
Yeah,
quality,
we'll have to
so
look at
it's. Well, this didn't happen last week. I did lower the quality last week, and it all went fine.
Okay.
So, it's been better since I lowered the quality today. So it's just.
Yeah, and if it's snowing, that could be part of the issue too.
Oh yeah.
So.
Anyhow, okay.
Well, enough speculation. Let's speculate on today's games instead.
Yes, only 9 games today. Last time we both went 6 for 7. You picking San Jose to beat Florida ruined your chance. You were literally like 6-2, 6-3, as we went down the game order, and then literally had four incorrect predictions in a row. And you had the easiest layup. You were dunking on a child's Fisher-Price basketball net, and you messed it. Are you Angel Reese or what? Like that was.
I won't do it. I will not do it.
And
you
to
had
be
the fair,
easiest.
I could be wrong. We would need to, because this is curious to me now. I have gone against Florida every single Saturday.
Mm-hmm. You've been correct once.
I'm pretty sure I've been wrong. Oh, I have. Okay. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure they have won every single Saturday, which would be one of those really weird Sports Center stats that are interesting.
Yes.
Oh, crap. And we start right out with Florida. Well,
yeah.
Come
All right,
on,
Chicago
Bedards.
at Florida.
Let's go, Bedard.
New York Rangers versus Boston.
Rangers.
Minnesota at Ottawa.
Give me Minnesota.
I've got Ottawa. Who are also favored in the betting odds.
Are they? Okay.
Yes.
I mean,
New York
with Ottawa
Islanders
being at home, too, it's not a bad bet.
Mm-hmm. New York Islanders at Tampa Bay.
Give me Tampa.
I'm taking the New York Islanders.
Whoa.
I know. Normally I like my Tampa Bay, but that's my upset today. Nashville at Pittsburgh.
Give me Pittsburgh.
Oh, I'm taking Nashville. Winnipeg at Washington. The top 2 teams in the league going at it in a big, thundering head-to-head matchup.
Your changes to the spreadsheet aren't even showing up either. Now that it froze.
It's probably the weather. It's probably because it's so cold. Yeah.
It's not just. Oh, now your changes are showing up, but Discord. Now there's Discord. Okay.
It's probably because of the weather and then double streaming.
It has to be, yeah, because it's not even Discord. It's full internet. So that's good to know. We're narrowing it down. Winnipeg, Washington. Ooh.
The top two perennial teams in the league. The winner of this will take sole possession of first in the league.
Give me Washington and an Ovechkin goal.
I will take Winnipeg to be controversial. LA at Carolina. The Kings against the Rantanins. Yes. Toronto at Edmonton.
Toronto.
Wow.
I'm not happy about it. But every once in a while, Toronto is just like, yeah, today we decided we wanted to score 8 goals. And for some reason, I'm just getting that vibe. Today's the day.
Fair enough.
Detroit, Calgary.
I'm taking Calgary.
Yeah, give me Calgary. I was leaning that way.
Cool. Okay, well, good luck.
Real quick. Check your OBS settings and make sure your microphone's on.
It is. No, I checked before
Okay.
we started. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another Saturday in Hockey Land. This has been the Extra Tacker Podcast. And until next week, go watch some hockey. Enjoy yourselves.
Bye.